Hi, it's Stephen from OWNorDisown. Well, Lenovo sent me their new Legion 5i Pro. It's a 2022 7th gen model. This has the RTX 3060 and the 12700H. Now, I did review the 5800H 3060 model, and I will do a comparison between the two. This is an unboxing, first look, and I'll follow it up with a live game stream where I'll do more game tests and answer some of your questions. But before that, let's have a quick look from the sponsor of the day. This is Tonor with the Q9 USB condenser microphone. Well, Tonor sent me this, I must say, excellent mic. Great value. It's the Tonor Q9. It's only $55, reduced from $79. And I think that is exceptional value. I really do. Because what you get here is you get the boom arm, which extends about 27.5 inches. You also get the pop filter. You get the wind muffler. You also get excellent quality mic made of aluminium. And you get a spring-loaded mic stand that connects to the boom arm. It fits on most desks, I would say. You know, it's very adjustable. All just for $55. When you consider that, you know, I got a Rode USB NT here, and I do have the boom arm as well. And that's around about $268. And I think that the audio quality is certainly comparable. Very good. Now, it does have a cardioid pickup pattern, which means it picks up most of it here from the front, not so much from the back and the top and below. This is what it's like. And they go around. And also, if you're game streaming and you want to get a keyboard underneath, that's the pickup there as well. Now, I'm currently talking on about, say, so perhaps even a foot away. So let's move further back. So let's say 2 feet away, 3 feet away. So it might not be an ideal one for picking up if you want the microphone out of shot, but I think if you want to be going to be close to the mic, it's very good. Now, I've been using, in fact, I'm recording the audio here with this mic. I've been typically using this Samsung CO2. It's usually out of shot, and that picks up that well. But I think the sound quality on this is very, very good. And this is what it's like, you know, when perhaps you bash the mic. So it does pick up a bit noise there, but I think for $55, I honestly think it is a great microphone. Now, it's got a 16mm diaphragm, a wide response time of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The volume button up and down works really well, and long pressing it mutes the microphone. You've got the output impedance of 2.2 kilo ohms, and there's no phantom power. Great, you just plug it into the computer and it works fine, so no additional equipment is needed. And I must say, I think for $55, it is the best value microphone, and for the sound quality too, that I've ever tried. So I've put a link in the description below. So like I said, mine has the i7 12700H RTX 3060. Now it's max 140 watts. This is compared to 130 watts on the 5800H one I tested previously, so it would be good to see what extra performance we get there. We do get 2 sticks of DDR5 4800 MHz RAM, 16 gigabytes. We also get 2 1TB SSDs, and we get a 2560 by 1600 165 Hz monitor. It's HDR 400 16-inch. Now, by all accounts, you can also get up to a 240 Hz one. Has an 80 watt-hour battery, so that's slightly larger than last year, and Wi-Fi 6E AX211. Here's my Legion 7 one. I'd say, yeah, they are the same size and same thickness. This is a 300 watt one. I didn't say they slimmed it down. I can't remember what the last year's 5 Pro one was like, so I probably just decided just to use the Legion 7 one and say it was slimmed down. But there you go. It's still big though. Now, I actually slimmed the laptop down by 2mm from like 22mm thick at the tapered end here to about 19.99 or 20mm thick. We do have I think it's a metal lid. Now, the keyboard deck, you know, is plastic, and of course you can get the similarly there's a Glacier white model as well, which would be nice. But this is the Storm Grey. everything else looks pretty much the same as it was before. We have the trackpad, and some reports were saying previously, you could touch it with your wrist or your palm and it would activate. I never had that problem, although mine did fail on my first one, and a tech came over and replaced it. But other than that, everything was fine. From what I can see, the keys are identical as before, and very reminiscent to the keyboard on Legion 7. Now it's only four zone key lighting on the 5 Pro, whilst it's more per key here on the Legion 7. But as you can see, it is pretty similar. There's not much to decide between the two, really, to be fair. In fact, I'd say the keycaps are the same size. Everything is pretty much the same. So nice keyboard. So keyboard shortcut FN and Q will change the power mode. And the light here will go from blue, which is silent mode, to white, which is balanced, to red, which is performance mode. For some reason, they removed the option of FN plus the R key to switch the panel to 60 Hz. Now this is a shame, because that did help with battery life. I was only able to get 2 hours 25 minutes at 50% brightness in silent mode. As is typical for the panels used by Lenovo, you have to really use at least 75% brightness to get anywhere a decent brightness level. At 100%, it measured 485 nits, which is nice and bright. At 89% of sRGB, it has a slightly lower color gamut than competing models. So the underside is the same as it was last year, made of plastic with the same air intake grills, with the stereo speakers located at the sides, at the front here. So one of the big differences is the lid. Before we had the gaming emblem, the Legion symbol here, which some found a little bit gamery, but I quite liked it. It did light up. Now it's more of a clean look, and actually does resemble a bit like the Legion 7, which I have got here. So Legion 7, Legion 5i Pro here. It's not too dissimilar really. You do still have these sort of markings here, just to differentiate a little bit, and of course the Legion logo you've got here. It's very nice. Doesn't light up like the Legion 7. The Legion 7 lights up here on the O. So on the left hand side, the previous model only had one USB-C. That was of course the AMD model I had. Now we've got two. One of them of course is Thunderbolt 4. The headphone jack that was here has now been placed on the right hand side. We still have the USB type A and the electronic switch there to disable the webcam. It's like previous models. The ports at the back have symbols, telling you where the ports are, and there's actually only two USB type A ports this time, but you still have a USB-C, you have an HDMI, and you have the power port here, which is rectangular of course. One of the USB type A ports is power delivery, so you can charge devices there, and the USB-C you should be able to charge the laptop with the USB-C as well, up to about 100 watts. And its weight is 5 pounds 10 ounces, and with a 330 watt power brick, we're looking at 8 pounds, about the same as last generation. So getting inside is actually pretty tough, but a bit of perseverance, it will pop off. Now here's the battery, 80 watt hour battery. We have the 2 sticks of RAM, single rank by 16. We have 2 M.2 slots, so that is nice. The Wi-Fi card here. Now, big difference I noticed on the previous generation was the heat pipes do seem thicker on the 7th gen, so better cooling there. 4 heat sinks altogether. So you've got the GPU here and the CPU here, but definitely looks more robust cooling. So let's take a look at the Lenovo Vantage software. What I do like is the one-stop shop for the system update. Check for updates, and as you can see, I've done a BIOS update already. I do like that. You can do macro keys. You got the Nahimic sound software here. This also includes easy surround, so you can do a surround sound. You got 2 2-watt speakers, and the sound is pretty decent. Now, what I do like also here, you got the thermal balance mode. Of course, as I explained before, pressing the FN and Q key, you can change between performance mode, balance mode, and quiet mode. You can also overclock the GPU, the core clock, and the VRAM. Now, it does have a muck switch, so at the moment I've got dedicated GPU mode. You make a change, you've got to do a restart, but you've also got Advanced Optimus as hybrid mode, and you do have Advanced Optimus mode here. And also you've got hybrid iGPU mode, so here it only uses the integrated graphics card, so it cuts out the dedicated GPU, even if you're using normally you'd use it in a high intensity activity, but here it's just the iGPU. And here is a hybrid auto mode, so when charging the computer uses both cards in hybrid mode. When not connected to a standard power adapter, the system then switches to hybrid iGPU only mode. So you got that option too. You've got actually 4 options compared to the usual 2. And you've also got screen overdrive there and rapid charge selection. And here you've got the settings for the key lighting. As you see, you've got 4 different zones. You can either choose static or a couple of patterns. So you do have the X-Rite color assistant, so you can choose the sRGB setting should you wish. Now we have a 720p webcam, which, you know, it does look fairly decent, but I was a little bit disappointed because I think in February they said it was going to be a 1080p one. But still, the microphone is good, the color reproduction is fairly decent, so okay, not too bad. Here is Battlefield 2042 at 2560 by 1600 using ultra settings. We see good GPU utilization as one would expect at this resolution. The stock clocked 3060 runs at about 85 degrees, which is a bit close to the 87 degrees upper limit for my liking. Above this, the GPU will throttle. I imagine with an overclock this may well happen. The 12700H performance cores runs at about 78 degrees, which is good. At these settings, I did experience micro stutters, so I would recommend lowering the settings or resolution a little bit. I did average 56 FPS at 2560 by 1600, and this jumped to 66 at 1920 by 1200, and at 1080p I got 69 FPS. Far Cry 6 was tested using the Ultra Quality preset, again at 2560 by 1600. At the top, I used the High Performance Quality preset. In the middle is Balance mode, and at the bottom I tried Silent mode. I also show their corresponding fan noise. The RTX 3060 is running a bit cooler at 83 degrees, as is the 12700H at 72. Gameplay was smoother than the 128 player map on Battlefield 2042. Fan noise was at around 51 decibels, which isn't too bad, but if you want a quieter and similar frame rates, go for Balance mode. And you get about 47 decibels of fan noise there, and this should not disturb many people. Silent mode with these settings was a little bit tough to play, so I would definitely lower the settings. But if you want near silent gaming, this is the route to take. Comparing it against the 2021 Legion 7 with the 5800H and the 140W RTX 3070, the Legion 5 Pro actually beats it at the lower resolutions, because the 12700H is that much faster. Now this is great news for those wanting to lower settings to maximize frame rate, and indeed, in some titles, playing at max settings at the native 2560 by 1600 gets close to maxing out your 6GB of VRAM, which does lower performance. This is shown in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Here is gameplay using ultra high settings at 2560 by 1600. It is still playable and the temperatures are fine. As you can see, the frame rates compared to the 140W 3070 do take a bit of a hit, even at the lower resolutions. The faster CPU doesn't really help much here. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the 140W 3060 is very close to the 140W 3070. If only there was an 8GB 3060 model available. In 3D Mark's Time Spy and Firestrike, the CPU score is up there with the best, easily beating the Razer Blades 12800H, which has a lower PL1. As for the GPU score, the 140W RTX 3060 matches the 130W RTX 3060, which had a 100MHz overclock. So in Cinebench R23, the 12700H in the Legion 5 Pro runs at 105 watts and even beats out the 115W Alienware X17R2, so this does show there are diminishing returns once you go above a certain power level. Other systems I tested had the CPU run around about 70 watts, even the GE66 i9-12900HK, and that too was slower. My Legion 7 and its 5800H is at the bottom, but it's still a decent gaming CPU as long as you use fast RAM, especially at QHD. So what did I think of the new Legion 5 Pro? Well, a switch to a 12th gen CPU and increasing the RTX 3060 power from 130 watts to 140 watts definitely helps it get better frame rates, getting very close to a 140 watt 3070, especially if you don't reach that 6GB VRAM limit. But still, my Legion 7 with the 3070 cost me $1,699. That was last year. Now that's some $200 cheaper than this Legion 5 Pro, and I get more RGB bling. This is a sign of the times, I'm afraid. Things are getting more expensive. Now they did make the lid less gamery, and they certainly push as many watts of the 12700H as possible, so you're getting a fast machine here. So no need for the 12800H from Razer. I was hoping that the webcam would be 1080p, but it is still okay, and the mic is good. The screen is good at brightness levels 75% and above, and the keyboard feels the same as last year, and also my Legion 7. They did say that cold air was going to be brought in through the keyboard. I didn't see this myself, but it remained very usable, and in general the thermals were okay, although at times the GPU would get close to that 87-degree limit. Fan noise was good. Balance mode in particular kept things cool and fairly quiet, and for those wanting a super quiet system, the silent mode makes that possible, particularly if you lower the settings. Thanks for watching. Bye now.